So let's talk about mental health issues just for a moment. Here's the truth. Everybody struggles. The truth is everything is spiritual, meaning we're in a world that's created by God, so the whole physical world is spiritual, work is spiritual, relationships are spiritual, everything is spiritual. But when I talk about over-spiritualizing, what I mean is not everything's a faith problem, not everything is a demon, not everything's a sin problem. There are physical, biological problems that have physical answers as God's answers to them. Medicine is a grace of God. It is a wonderful gift. You wouldn't judge somebody who wears eyeglasses because of a visual impairment, and you wouldn't judge somebody who uses a wheelchair to get around. So why do some of us feel compromised if we take medicine to help regulate our mood chemicals? Which would you rather have? Would you rather have God anoint a few people on the earth with the gift of laying on of hands for the curing of all cancers? Or would you rather have Jesus give a medical breakthrough to a scientist that can be emulated everywhere to radically help everyone everywhere, even if they couldn't access those few faith healers? Would you thank God for that, or would you view that as somehow in competition with those faith healers? Christians have a positive view of healing and therefore should have a positive view of modern medicine as a grace of God. Medicine is often a part of the solution, but it's usually not the whole solution. The medicine can really help get us moving, give us a much more advantaged position from which to work toward thriving. And so get help from your doctor, but recognize your doctor's not going to address the spiritual, and recognize that your doctor can't do for you what your friends and loved ones can do in terms of relational support, and neither can your therapist, right? So get help from specialists, but recognize their limitations. Let's go after a holistic approach to mental health. It's also very helpful to understand underlying causes. I'm going to tell you this right now. Before the doctor asked me specific questions, I didn't even see the pattern. I didn't notice that it was, midway through January and into February that I was experiencing this depression. I didn't realize that it was a chemical imbalance in my body. And because I didn't realize it was a chemical imbalance in my body, I was diagnosing it as though it was a spiritual problem, as though it was a life situation problem, as though it was people, as though it was stuff. And I was very confused. And when you're like me, when you're a preacher, when you're a pastor, when your job is to give hope and inspiration to people, and that means that you need to feel some hope and inspiration to do it very effectively. That was a crisis for me. And I was misdiagnosing it. And misdiagnosing a physical problem as a spiritual problem put me into a tailspin. It didn't help me fix the problem. It actually made the problem a lot worse. I'm laughing, but I could just as easily cry. You don't see the lenses on your glasses, you see everything through those lenses. And mental health issues are just like this. It's you see the world through them, and everything you see is disoriented and distorted because of what is going on there. It was my wife confronting me, getting in my face and saying, "Are you honestly doing everything you can to fight against this depression?" And I said, "Yeah." But I thought about it later on and realized I'm not. And that's the day that I started jogging. And I jog because that is a natural antidepressant. It releases all the same chemicals that taking antidepressants take. But more than that, being in a good physical health in general and taking my vitamin D. And anytime there's a sunny day, going out and being in it. I try not to spiritualize a physical problem that's causing an emotional problem that then can cause a spiritual crisis, which can also cause relational problems. Let's definitely remove the stigma of admitting that we're weak. I know that in culture, sometimes we get the impression, especially viewing on social media, everyone's happy, everyone's smiling, everyone's attractive, and their children are well behaved, and their houses are clean. But in real life, your house is a mess, your kid's a brat, you're a bit of a jerk, and you're overweight. That's real life, right? And I know that in our culture, we're kind of tempted, put our best foot forward, and someone asks the question, "How you doing?" You don't like to say, "Well, I'm going to heaven and I'm loved, but I feel like crap and I don't like anything about my life right now." That's just, I wouldn't have minded if you said it, I wouldn't mind at all. I'd probably be like, "Hey, I like you better." This fake positive crap. So tired of it. If you're depressed, if you're lonely, if you're having panic attacks, if you're afraid, if you're cutting yourself, if you're whatever your issues are, if you're starting to recognize the triggers or the signs that you're not doing okay, please reach out. Please reach out to some safe people, to some good people who love you. Not everyone will know how to help you. I won't always know how to help you again. I specialize in one zone. I'm a pastor, so I'm going to focus on the fact that you're loved, you're valued, God has hope for you, what you believe matters, but guess what? If you're trying to run on broken legs, it's going to be a big disadvantage. And if you're trying to hope with a brain that's misfiring with the wrong chemicals, it's going to be a real struggle. So I can help you as far as I can help you, but you may want to see a medical doctor. It's no shame in that and taking the medicine. And if you are having very dark thoughts, I want you to know, please don't do anything permanent. Don't seek a permanent solution to a short-term problem. We're not better off without you. You're not alone. You are loved. It will get better.